Adaptogens, nature's gift to us to help us combat that #1 killer of people today, stress. It's 2019 and last time I checked, our stress levels as a collective are at an all-time high. So let's learn what these plants can do for us. Beautiful beings, welcome back to another video. If this is the first time that you're seeing my face, hello, my name is Veladya Chapman and I am a holistic nutritionist amongst many other things. There are tons of videos and vlogs and educational content on this channel, so please check it out. I guarantee you will find a video for you. So today's video is about adaptogens. Adaptogens are specific herbs that help the body deal with stress environmentally and psychologically, which in other words is environmentally anything that's going on in the body, and psychologically whatever stress is happening inside the mind. You've probably taken an adaptogenic herb before if you're someone that's into natural health, but I'm gonna put a list up here somewhere on the screen so that you can see a list of many different adaptogenic herbs that maybe you're familiar with or ones that you want to refer to for later on. These herbs are grown all over the globe, and something that I find very interesting about them is that they adapt and they grow in stressful environments. This is what makes them so powerful. Like Maca and Rhodiola, they grow in these really high altitude, mountainous, cold environments, and they give this power to be strong and to adapt to us, which I just think is so incredibly magical. And speaking of where they were grown, it brings me to a good little interlude, which is if you are purchasing adaptogens, it might be in your best interest to make sure that those adaptogens were sourced or grown where they naturally grow, in their indigenous place, instead of a lab or in LA somewhere. You know, it would be more beneficial to source them from their indigenous growth area because of what I just said. They're used to growing in that place and adapting, so their adapting properties are probably going to be stronger. And it's okay if you can't find some that are sourced in their indigenous area, because it's not like they're not going to work for you, and you might have a wonderful experience from some that have been grown in, you know, their non-indigenous place. It's just that they might be more potent if you did get them from there. And also, just like I say about every food and pretty much everything that I try to buy, it's always best to get organic and sustainable. So how do they work? There are a few pillars that qualify an herb to be an adaptogenic. The first one is that it must be non-toxic, safe for the body. 2, an adaptogen produces a non-specific result in the body, meaning that it increases our resistance against normal stressors from many different areas. So it combats multiple stressors, meaning physical, psychological, chemical, biological, all around. And the third pillar would be that it has a normalizing effect on the body, meaning it helps bring that body back to balance in all different ways, which is known as homeostasis. I'm not gonna get too far into the scientific reasons of why adaptogens work, but just know that they help us handle stress by means of the HPA axis. And they use that, and also by targeting certain hormones like cortisol, which I'm sure you are familiar with, because that is that pesky little hormone that raises up when we're dealing with a fight or flight sort of response. And a lot of times when we are feeling cortisol, it can raise, and it stays at that fight or flight level for days and months and maybe years on end, and that's what causes health issues within the body. So adaptogens can help bring that cortisol down and bring us back to a state of balance. I read an awesome blog post once, maybe I'll link it below if I can remember who wrote it, but I remember she described adaptogens as like when you have caffeine, it sort of is a point A to point B sort of substance. You know, you start at being tired and then it takes you straight to being energized or motivated or what have you. Adaptogens are like the GPS. They go in and they find where you are and where you need to go. So you saw the list that I had up a minute ago. That list is also down in the description right now so that you can go back to it after the video, refer to it and find something that's good for you, maybe do a little bit more research. But it's important to know that some adaptogens will interfere with whatever medications you might be taking, so make sure that you do your research. And although some herbs can be used safely for a long period of time, many herbalists recommend cycling the adaptogens, so using one for a couple of months and using a different one, and a lot of herbalists recommend merging them together. That's why when you see a lot of herbal stress relief pills, it'll be like 3 or 4 different adaptogens combined together because they really love to work together in harmony. And fortunately for us, adaptogens are pretty easy to find, most of them, and majority of them are very affordable, so you could probably get more than one if you want to try them out, which brings me to my next topic. Ta-da! I want to take a quick second and talk about today's sponsor, which is the Matcha Reserve, and they are a great place to get different herbs, teas, superfoods, powders, matcha. I've been using their matcha for a while and it is delicious, and they have amazing different flavors that I had never really even heard of until I was introduced to them. I also enjoy several of their other products and I can attest to their potency. Luckily for us, the majority of their products are organic and they have tons of adaptogens. And yes, I have every single adaptogen they sell because I am a very busy woman and me and adaptogens are like this. Let's go through the ones that they have really quickly. So they have chaga. You guys have probably seen me talk about the adaptogenic properties of certain medicinal mushrooms because I love Four Sigmatic, and I'll link them below as well. But here you go right here. Chaga powder, which helps slow down the aging process and regulate the blood sugar, along with the adaptogenic stress relieving properties. We also have reishi powder, which is a wonderful anti-inflammatory and immune system boost. Cordyceps, wonderful for stamina and energy. I think this one is a good like pre-sex one. But you could also use this if you're gonna go running or anything like that. Pine pollen powder, which you will not find everywhere. I haven't seen many people that carry this, and this is also a great workout companion and a powerful anti-inflammatory. Astragalus, which also works as an anti-inflammatory and is very good for strengthening the immune system. Schisandra powder, which has been really well known to help the skin and is also an anti-inflammatory. If you're dealing with any skin issues, you wanna be eating an anti-inflammatory diet along with using herbs that are anti-inflammatory, so like this is your one if you got them pimples. And lastly, what I think is probably one of the most popular adaptogens, which is maca powder. And maca is used for many different things. It's also great for endurance and energy. It's rich in nutrients, rich in antioxidants, wonderful for women's health, wonderful for men's health. It's just all around a popular herb. That's why you've probably heard of this one over the others. So yeah, here they all are. It's a lot, I know. And I will link below some articles and some information so you can learn even more about the ones that I mentioned today. I think when you go to the Matcha Reserve website, they have some information. You can learn even more about each specific one. And I will link below a special link for you to get 50% off of the Matcha Reserve. Anything you order just today, because today is the day that the video was uploaded, 50% off. And then for the rest of this month, you'll get 40% off using that link. So y'all, I would take advantage of that because there's a lot of great stuff on that website. Okay, so before I go, let me leave you with a few very important things to remember. Number one, adaptogens are not one size fits all. They work differently for different people. Some people might have great experiences using maca. Some people might have adverse experiences using maca. So use discretion just like you would if you were trying any new substance. You know, start out small, test it out, do your research, and make sure that it is for you. Same thing goes for you pregnant mamas, you nursing mamas, or you want to be pregnant. Do your research because many midwives advise against using adaptogens unless you are using it for a particular thing like nausea and you really need it and you're going to use it sparingly, or you were recommended by a medical professional, or you're using it under supervision of a qualified professional. I personally have read that herbs like maca and ashwagandha and Panax ginseng are very safe for women and they help promote your health during that time of bearing a child, but don't take my word for it. Go and research because I haven't gotten my herbalist certification yet, so come back in a few years when that happens. And lastly, listen to your body. Adaptogens, just like any herb or any outer substance, are not meant to mask what must be dealt with from the source. Do not use adaptogens as an excuse to push yourself to the limit. You know when you must slow down and deal with stress in many different ways: meditation, journaling, getting away from the people that are causing that stress, stopping whatever you're doing that's causing that stress, getting away from that job, that situation, that food. It might work for you to use them extremely long term, but if you keep going and keep pushing your body to a place where it's not comfortable, you're going to end up getting burned out. You're gonna burn out your adrenal glands and burn out a lot of other things, and in turn cause issues, because the adaptogens aren't like an all-around superhero. It's best to take them as short-term support, and then maybe long-term if you're somebody who's overly sensitive to stress, depending on your life situation. All right, that's it for now. Thank you for joining me. Be sure to check the description below because I added extra information down there that I didn't say in the video. I've been trying to like switch it up a little bit so you guys don't have to hear me rambling on so much in the video style. You can read down there if you are someone that's looking for more information. Don't forget that the Matcha Reserve is offering you half off. Click that link today. There's tons of other links down there where you can find me in other corners of the internet. If you learned something today, please hit that like button down there. It helps the video move on up in the YouTube world. And subscribe if you want to see more from me. I upload tons of educational videos, so you won't be disappointed if you subscribe, because one day you'll get a notification on your phone for that exact thing that you've been wondering about. So go ahead and hit the button and hit the bell next to it so you can be notified when I upload another video. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.